What's up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of Success Funnel Interviews. And I got another exciting guest on today to drop some serious value. A funnel expert, so much so that he even goes by the name Funnel Doc. So, 2 Comma Club winner and a 2 Comma Club X winner, which means 10 million through a single funnel. To the point that he loves ClickFunnels so much that he's even got the tattoo on his arm. So maybe he'll show us later in the show. I'd love to welcome Jeffery Banek, and please share with us what you believe entrepreneurs should stop doing in order to grow their business to the next level.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. So, since I work with coaches and entrepreneurs a lot, one of the things that they need to stop doing is they need to stop being so non-focused. One of the things, whenever I coach someone, whenever they share their screen, they'll have 37 tabs open across the top. I'm sure some of you guys watching this right now have like 15 or 20 open. We really need to learn to stay focused. Far too often, I see too many entrepreneurs, especially when they're starting out, they get what I call shiny opportunity syndrome, where it's not an object, it's an opportunity. Could you make money? Could you do this with it? Yes. But you have to ask yourself, what is your real end goal? What do you want to accomplish on this journey as an entrepreneur? And is this helping you get there? Or is it just being a shiny opportunity? Which, again, it's an opportunity. It could make you money. It could do something for you. But in the end, how much is it going to distract you from what your real end goal is?
That's very interesting. So if you talk about shiny object syndrome, is it do you believe that some people are following the shiny object because it's based on money, not necessarily what they want to do?
So that's a great question. I think far too often with entrepreneurs, we follow shiny objects because it allows us to go down another avenue of potential success. So often we're going down this avenue we're on and we haven't hit success yet, even though it could be right around the corner, we haven't. And all of a sudden this little boop, boop, boop over here starts hitting our view and we're like, that might be the key. Maybe that's what I need for success. That's it. Let me go check this out. And I go check it out. And next thing you know, 3-6 months have gone by and you haven't advanced at all. And now you realize, that wasn't what I thought it was. I just wasted 3 to 6 months of my life.
Yeah, 3 to 6 months later, and then another 3 to 6 months later, it's the same thing. So it's basically a jack of all trades, master of none at one point.
For sure. Really, niching down is super important when you start out. Far too many entrepreneurs are like, I'm going to help everybody because everybody does X. And well, the problem is if I stand in a room of a bunch of people and just yell, everybody, no one's going to listen to me. And the people that look at me are going to be like, this is a weirdo. But if I go to say Funnel Hacking Live and I stand up in a room full of funnel hackers and I'm like, funnels, they're going to be like, this guy's cool. He knows what's up. So you really got to look at how you're marketing your message and make sure you're niching down and speaking to your people that want to hear what you have to say and just not yelling into the ether.
Yeah, I think the other part is that, you say 3 to 6 months down the line. I mean, then you haven't even broken into becoming a master at something yet. It might feel a long time to you, but people don't even know that you're existing at that point yet.
And sometimes you get silly stuff. Like I like video games, and all of a sudden, one point in part of my career about a year ago, I'm like, I'm going to become a Twitch streamer. And I literally put a halt on my business and everything. And for like a month, I spent like 180 hours streaming. And then all of a sudden I realized, like, what the heck am I doing? I have an established brand making hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. And I decided to be a Twitch streamer. What is that? So again, asking yourself, is it really what you want to do? Or is it something that's just distracting you from what your end goal is?
So I do see behind you, and I know that you are adding a third one.
Yes, sir.
I saw the post this week. So that's a huge congratulations. And tell us, in terms of a 2 Comma Club, what does that bring in terms of, firstly, revenue, and then relationships, opportunities, stuff like that going forward?
Excuse me. Well, to be honest, when I first got my first one 3 years ago now, it held a lot more status then because there are so much fewer people. I mean, now it's still honored, don't get me wrong, but there's probably 1,000 plus people now that have a 2 comma. And what a 2 comma award is, for people who don't know, there's a software out there called ClickFunnels that makes specialized websites that help you to get more leads or to make sales no matter what your business is. And when you generate $1 million in sales through what we call a funnel or these specialized websites, you get one of these awards. So when I got my first one, we launched, and it was literally it was like living a dream. We launched, and at the time, it was the fastest anyone to hit 1 million. We did it in 1.2 million in 57 days. It was a record at that time. Now people launch and they're doing 1 million in like hours, because they prep and so much happens. But at that time, it was like really cool. And then that one went on. Actually, do you know who Andrew Warner is? Have you ever heard of Mixergy podcast before?
Yes.
So, I used to watch that all the time. Well, I was blessed from, by the way, my tattoos. Here, we'll show one of them to you right now. There's one, as you can see. There's my funnel hacking one. But I was at a ClickFunnels event, and Andrew Warner was there, and he saw my tattoos, and we started talking. He's like, I want to hear your story. So I'm getting ready to go on Mixergy podcast, and all of a sudden I get a phone call, and it's Kevin David, the guy that I made the funnels for. And he's like, we did it, Jeff. I'm like, what are you talking about? We did what, Kev? And he's like, dude, we broke 10 million. So that's how I got this guy the X Award, which Kevin's got the big one. I just got the cool little shoulder thing, but that's for doing 10 million through a funnel. And we actually did it in under 18 months. So the first one here did 1.2 in 57 days, 10 million in under 18 months. The second one I did for Kevin, the first one was for a FBA course, Fulfillment by Amazon. The second one is for a Shopify course. This one took a little bit longer. It took about 6 months to hit 1 million, and it's done about 4 or 5. That's not his most popular one, obviously. So those two are for Kevin. I have a couple other ones that I've done. The third one I'm getting this year was for a wholesale Amazon course. We launched that with no paid traffic and did 844K in 7 days. And that one's done like 3 mil or plus now. Altogether, all the funnels I made in the last 4 years have done 41.7 million in sales in 4 years.
That's unbelievable.
That's pretty crazy, man. I think 15 years ago, I was a personal trainer.
Yeah, I actually heard that story. It's so great. So the one thing you can actually tell Kevin is that, he can't wear his 2 Comma Club X Award around. You can. So.
Right, exactly. Mine's way cooler. For sure.
Exactly. So talking about 2 Comma Club X, what is the difference between, for people, 1 million and 10 million? I mean, I love the comparison, and it was Tony Robbins that said the difference between 1 million and 1 billion, and he compares the vast difference. But so is the difference between 1 million and 10 million. It's a big jump, and there's a lot of people that don't ever get to that. What takes that funnel from 1 million to 10 million?
A lot of times it's connections, like you'd mentioned before. It's joint ventures. It's being able to do JV launches. If you start contacting people, and even if maybe you're not doing a JV launch, but Kevin's really big in YouTube, so he did a lot of YouTube collaborations, which got his name out there really quick, which got eyes on his product for little to no cost. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think we did over 1 million in ads, probably easily, probably closer to 2. When the last time I talked to get to the 10 million, last time I talked to Kevin, he does about, I don't think you'll mind me telling, but he averages about 47 to 52% profit on everything he makes, which a lot of people don't realize this. The more money you make, the less you make. It's like when you're a solo entrepreneur and you're the one running the game, you make almost 100% on everything you do, but you're also doing everything. As you grow your team, as you start growing ads, as you scale, when you hear people saying, oh, I made 1 million, a couple million, usually they're only making about 40 to 55%, which is still $400,000 to $550,000, which is amazing. But when you take taxes and everything else out of there, just realizing me watching this, like even though Kev made 10 million, I think last year he told me he paid like 144,000 and just, or 400,000 and just in sales tax because he was living in California. I mean, like, you got to realize it's not all, oh, he made 10 million and it's all in his pocket, but Kev's not hurting by any means. But I just always want people to know there's a big difference between what is grossed and what is actually profited at the end and taken home. And most people, when they get to the high millions, they're shooting for that like 45 to 55% range on average.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Where you say, the difference between gross and net, it's a huge difference. As you said, it wasn't 10 million in his bank account at that point.
Right.
So yeah, just a great story, and obviously a beautiful connection for you to have in terms of having someone like that.
Yeah.
So how?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, I just was going to say, man, I've been very blessed from the ClickFunnels community. I was talking to someone the other day on a podcast, and they're like, "Do you know so and so?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're good friends." They're like, "So and so," and it doesn't hit me how blessed I am with the connections that I have. So yes, like one of my buddies, Tanner Chittister. I don't know if you know who he is. He's done tens of millions. I think he was at 40. I was just messaging him this morning talking about Funnel Hacking Live. He's going to go and get the C award this year for the 10 million. I don't think he's broke 100. I think he's like about 50 million right now. But yeah, I'm really blessed to be able to message people like that to have friends. So it's an amazing world, and I'm thankful every day that I'm able to do what I do, man.
So the transition into funnels, what took you down that road into doing what you're doing now?
Yeah, so well, to be honest, I got tired of making these for everyone else and wanted it for myself to some degree. I was running an agency. We were crushing it. We launched December 2017, our first month, 15 grand. Second month was like 32, 48, 52. We crushed it, did like 800 grand in less than a year in sales, not including, that's just my agency. That's not including what we did for our clients. But it's really weird, okay? There's not a lot of satisfaction that comes from making funnels once you got to a certain point. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, it's another 100K or whatever. And that's great. That's life-changing money. Don't get me wrong. But when you hit the accolades that I've had and hit them so fast, making funnels loses its thrill to some degree, if that can make sense. In running an agency, if anyone watching this has ever run an agency, you know what I'm talking about, because your clients just don't appreciate you. They're like, I paid you, you're now my employee, I own you. And at one point I had 13 different clients, 13 different bosses. And I'm like, I didn't become an entrepreneur to have 13 people trying to tell me what to do. So as much as we were successful, I literally one day, I was charging 30 grand to build out a base funnel. We launched it for this guy. He made 90,000 on the launch. And for 5 months straight, I didn't know this at the time because we just launched it, but for 5 months straight, that system made him another 50 to 60 grand every month. His first words were out of his mouth, why the F word, excuse my language, why wasn't this $1 million? Because he expected it to be like Kevin David. He's like, I paid you, why wasn't this $1 million? Even though he got 3 times return on his investment within 10 days, and then 50 to 60 grand every month after that, why wasn't $1 million? Yet, if you talk to anyone investing and they could get that type of return, they'd be like, sign me up, dude. Where can I sign up for that? And when that happened and that guy treated me that way, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I shut everything down. I launched a course that it was called Funnel Agency Secrets, did really well, so well that this large company that I'm NDA, I can't say who it is, but they bought the course from me because it was doing so well. So if you happen to see Funnel Agency Secrets pop up in the next 6 months to a year, that was mine at one point. Yeah, I can't say who it is, but everybody will figure it out. So then I then looked at courses. I was going to launch another one. But the problem with courses, they have inherent problems that only 60 to 70% of most people that buy a course don't open it. They'll buy it for security. I'll check it out later. They never do it. I don't want to be in the business of putting out something that doesn't inhibit success. I want success from what I do. I don't care about the money. So I decided not to launch a course again. I'm like, I'm going to launch a coaching offer. I'm going to help everyone. And at this point, this is 2 years. That was a 3. This is 2 years ago now. And at that point, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to launch it for $97. I'm going to make it group coaching. I'm going to help everyone. I'm going to have like 1,000 people sign up. I'll be doing like 100K a month. People are going to be making millions. It's going to be amazing. The problem I found, now mind you, I had like 1,000 people sign up. Like we had a pretty decent launch, close to 2,000 people sign up, had a decent launch. But I quickly found out that when people pay $97, they put in $97 worth of effort too.
Yeah.
And and for me, that's frustrating. I'm looking to help all these people, and I'm like, yay, people are signing up, and no one's doing anything. Like, it's like people show up to the call occasionally, wasn't what I wanted. So I decided I'm like, how can I make this better? I'm like, well, I'll add more value. I'll add more course. I'll add more stuff. And as I did, I started increasing the price. And as I increased the price, every time I'd like double or triple price, the, let's say, quality of person that went through it, not to put anyone down, but the oomph, the want, they had more skin in the game. They were willing to work their butt off to get results, doubled and tripled as well, until now I got to where I'm at. And my last 3 clients that went through my coaching program all did 10K within 30 days and all hit 100K between 80 to 110 or 120 days. So like, now, yeah, I started keeping on going, and I cut out the group coaching. Now it's just one-on-one, because I found for me right now, I only take on like 3 clients at a time, because I don't want a full schedule. I want to be able to give those 3 clients my utmost divided attention and make sure that they're successful. You know what I mean? Versus trying to scale up and get too big. I don't need, a lot of money. I'm a very minimalist person, believe it or not. So anyway, that's sort of the story of what I'm doing now and what I have going on. So now I do one-on-one coaching, showing people how to make coaching or course ecosystem, scaling it from 0 to 6 figures, and then from 6 figures to $1 million.
So did I just hear you say, or am I correct in saying that you live in Vegas?
Yes, I do. I've been here for 12 years now, actually.
And you use minimalistic in the same sentence.
I know. I'm a weirdo, man. Like, if you come to my house, you'll see I have like nothing. Like, I rented a Lambo for a week once to check it out to see if that was even something I wanted. And dude, talk about, so here's what's funny when it comes to Lambos. You would think as a dude, you're like, all the women are going to be all over you.
Yeah.
The only people that care are little boys and old men. Women that it's like literally, I'd have dudes come up to me like, dude, can I take your car? It's so cool. And we went by a school, and all the little boys are running up to the fence going, wow, that's so, but like women didn't care. It was so funny. And it's the most impractical car. I rented it in South San Diego. We were down there for a week checking it out. And every time I parked it and went somewhere, I'm just like, oh my God, please don't walk out and someone kicked it or hit it.
Yeah.
Because this scratch on it's $25K to get fixed. I'm like, no way. For me, like the most exotic car I'm looking at is like getting a Tesla. You know what I mean? Like that's my thing. Like I'm about to do a bunch of traveling, so I'm not getting one right now. I'm actually about to start traveling the world starting at the end of this month. I'm going to San Diego for a week. I'm going to Orlando for a month for Funnel Hacking Live. Yeah. And then as soon as that ends, I'm going to Europe for 4 to 5 months. I'm going to Italy for a month, France for a month, Spain for a month. And then I've heard that Australia is really cool for New Year's, which my birthday is January 1st. So I'm going to go to Sydney for a month for my birthday and check out Australia.
Well, I think the beauty is now that you're allowed to travel, even if something does happen, I mean, you could sit in Italy, you could sit wherever and still carry on and generate an income. So that's the beauty about what it is.
Yeah, that's the blessed thing about being an online entrepreneur is as long as you have a good internet connection, like you could be anywhere.
Yeah, well, if you got space in your bags, I'd love to join. It sounds like
we'll see if I can fit you in the travel bag, brother. We'll see if we can fit you in there.
So coming back to the funnels, is obviously you focused on high ticket funnels now. Is that kind of, if you were giving out advice to someone coming into the online world, start with high ticket. Is that kind of the avenue?
Yeah. So here's the deal too, for multiple reasons. A, I like more impact, and I think courses don't provide that. But B, you can build as you go with courses. You've heard that model, I'm sure, test and tweak and it's right, but it's hard because a lot of times too, the people that you're working with don't know what questions to ask you to be able to make it better. You know what I mean? It's like the blind leading the blind that way. Where if you start higher ticket, you're able to actually interact with someone, guide them, tweak it, turn it, engage up, down, side to side, whatever it needs. And then after my system I teach is I like to do the first 10 to 30 sales one-on-one. And then if we're looking to scale at that point, we pull you out because now we predict we have a proven system that's now shown exactly what needs to be. And after 10 to 30 sales, you'll start seeing the same thing over and over. Now you can take yourself out of that and make it in a group coaching model, which allows you to scale. And that's really where you get up to the millions and beyond. And also adding on to like a year-long coaching program. Like I have a year-long coaching program. That's really where you go from 6 figures to $1 million. My first funnel accelerator program is 90 days. That's from basically 0 to 6 figures. And then my 7-figure elite takes you from 0 to $1 million. And that really builds the whole ecosystem, the high end, the course, lead magnets, like everything you need.
Well, I think the other beauty is that you started with high ticket, but the high ticket, goes up this value ladder of higher and higher tickets. So it's a beautiful combination for everything.
Yeah, I actually call it my reverse value ladder because you need, by starting high, you prove everything out at high ticket and then use that proof of concept to build out everything below it.
Yeah. So I read a thing of, or I actually heard Alex Hormozy say something similar in terms of high ticket. He just said, raise the quality of your prospects and you'll raise the quality of your product. So it's exactly what you said in terms of when you have the I can't say more intellectual, but the people that want to take action, they also want to get better. So your value and your quality gets a lot better as well.
You know what I also found too was people at that level tend to have more resources available to them. When someone's first starting out, if they can barely afford your services, and that's why I don't take financing or anything like that. I do payment plans, but I don't allow outside financing because if you can't afford my program, the chances of you affording to get a VA or get a content person or a copy person or start ads or whatever it is that's going to help really accelerate you, you're not going to be able to do. So by allowing you my program, if you're not ready for it, I'm really setting you up for failure. So that's another reason why I only work with so few people is I want to make sure that if I say, hey, you need to go run Facebook ads or YouTube ads or get a content writer or something like that, so that you can actually afford to go do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's beautiful. So you basically help them start their team, kind of start picking who they need and what they need to kind of take stuff off their plate.
Yeah, the first thing we do really is build out your high ticket coaching. We launch that. The different thing about my program, most people's too, is most programs wait to the end till you have results. With mine, every 4th week is a sales week. So it's create, promote, sell every month. Create, promote, sell, create. So by the time you're done with the 90 days, you've already got 10 sales versus waiting to the end and then you launch and then you hope to get your 10 sales. Yeah. So it just has like success hard baked into it from the very beginning.
So when you talk high level, high ticket coaching, specifically, what funnel do you recommend for you getting? Let's say there's a coach that wants to do high ticket coaching. What funnel do you recommend they use? What is working effectively for you to get those kind of clients coming in?
Yeah. So right now it's basically what I call like a hero appointment funnel. It's basically a hero page with a video sales letter of you talking about 30,000 foot view, pain points, selling the product, what it has to offer without deep diving into it. It's going to then talk a little bit about as the funnel goes down. If you go to my YouTube channel, I actually have a full video on this, but as you go down, it goes headline, video sales letter, button, pain point number 1, solution to pain point number 1. You have to get them invested. That's the problem with too many people is they're just, oh, look at my accolades. Look at this. This is cool. But if they don't realize how you're going to solve their pain, they'll never buy from you. So it goes pain point number 1, solution to pain point number 1, story of how you have come to now tie in the pain point number 1, which origin story into what you've created now, what the product is, pain point number 2, solution to pain point number 2, testimonials and results. Then it has a overview of your process, another button, FAQ at the bottom, and then the last button to be able, and all the buttons go to the next page, which ideally you would have a survey. You want to pre-qualify people. Ask them, when are they looking to get started? How much do they have invest? What are their experience? Find out some of their own personal pain points. So when you show up to the sales call, you already know why they're showing up. Really not only find out about them for a sales call, but disqualifying if they're not ready. Like some people are like, oh, I was looking to get started in like 6 months. Well, let's talk in 6 months, not fill up my calendar right now. So, and then ideally, you'll have the ability to either qualify or disqualify someone from the survey. And if they pass the survey, they then go to a scheduling page, which will allow them to book a call. Now, one of the things that I do that a lot of other people don't do is once you book a call, I then send you what I call my 5-part video nurture series, which are just basically 5 videos that has a button that when it gets to the last 10 seconds of the video, the button pops up. So they can't leave. They have to watch a video. Video's 3 to 5 minutes, but the videos overcome their objections, their limiting beliefs. It helps get them ready. So when they get on the sales call, they've already been sold. Now you just have to close them on the deal versus selling them on the whole process. So it really gets the show-up rate and gets the conversion rate a lot higher. And ideally, that's what I found to be the funnel that's working the best right now.
Yeah, it seems like a trend with the high ticket stuff. And I think a lot of people overcomplicate it, with an extra page and a downsell and an upsell and it just gets so complicated.
Usually with high ticket stuff, you're not going to get too many upsells and downsells. Realistic. You might get like an order bump of some sort, but with it's the thing is, like, realistically, to sell anything above 3 to 5K, you need to get on a phone call or a Zoom. You have to get in this environment to be able to overcome their objections, answer questions, and move them into a buying state. When done properly, any quote unquote upsells would be recommended by the salesperson at that point, because a good salesperson needs to think of themselves as, let's say, a doctor, where they're prescribing what is wrong and saying, this is what's wrong, and here's what you need to be able to be better or to be able to hit $1 million. Too many people, when they come into sales conversations, are like, hey, we offer A, B, C, and D. Which would you like? And the people are like, I don't know. That's why I'm talking to you. And then no buying's ever done because of that.
Yeah.
So,
it's such a
with this one, you want it to move to a sales call where anything below, say, like 2K, you're going to want to have a funnel with upsells and downsells. I recommend never going more than 1 upsell, 1 downsell ever. Anything more than that, it's really hard to believe that these are products that are going to benefit the client and you're not just adding stuff to add stuff. And be honest, man, I don't know about you, but about the 3rd time of saying no, I'm like, just get me to the freaking order page, man. You know what I mean? So I'm looking through my personal experience of like, hey, 1 or 2 is cool, man, but this is getting ridiculous. So I always do like 1 or 2 at the most. And that's my personal experience with those.
Yeah. I got to laugh. Sometimes it's like a web you get stuck in. You can't find your way out. So you just kind of
and I'm like, dude, I just want to give you my money. Can I give you my money? Please?
I love it. So before we wrap everything up, is there something that we haven't asked, or maybe a bit of information you'd like to pass over?
So is this mainly targeted to people like entrepreneurs first starting out? Is that mainly the target audience?
So basically around funnels, around understanding, like you pointed out, the courses are a great thing for people to start, but once again, you're attracting, so we're kind of demonstrating that. And then also the transition to high tickets. So we're just trying to get an overview of, just to, teach people as well that there's different tiers and what they can try.
So first of all, in regards to high ticket, you have to know your avatar or your dream customer. This is the biggest mistake. These people are coming and they're like, yeah, I'm going to sell this. It's going to be great millions. I'm like, who are you selling it to? What is their pain? They're like, I don't know. I'm like, you have to know, like, even before you know your product, you almost need to know your customer and then figure out what to sell them versus trying to find the product and then find the people to match. You have to know their pain. What keeps them up at night? What are they worried about? If you don't know this, you're never going to make a sale. So starting out, when it comes to iTickets, you really have to dial in your marketing message, your dream customer, and know what makes them tick. And then as far as just entrepreneurship in general, man, I didn't get a chance to tell my story here, but there was a time when this happened where things got so bad for me and my wife at the time that we had to pawn our ring just to be able to pay rent. And it would have been easy. Yeah, it got really bad, man. It got really, really. Kevin actually was a gift from God and came and saved the day. And that's it'd be another 30 minutes we get in that. But long story short, It would have been easy for me to give up and have gone back to a 9-to-5 job and taken the safe route. But because I believed in myself and I kept on knowing that this is the right action, I'm doing the right thing, and kept just busting my butt, know that it will eventually pay off. It might not be tomorrow, it might not be next month, but if you quit, you will never know if you were going to be successful, because far too often it's literally around the corner, man. I mean, literally the time that we pawned my wife's ring, 2 weeks later is when Kevin messaged me and was like, hey, what's going on? I heard you're the funnel guy. Let's do it. And then we did. And he only paid me $6,000 to build out that funnel that did 10 million. But when you're so freaking broke that you're having to pawn your wife's wedding ring just to pay rent, $6,000 is like, we are rich, baby. We're going to Red Lobster. Let's pay off all the bills. It's the greatest thing ever, you know? So just realize it was 2 weeks. 2 weeks that if I would have just not waited a little longer, I might not be talking to you today. I could be working at some personal training gym somewhere, or McDonald's for all you know, or whatever. So just don't give up. It's gonna suck. If it wasn't, if it was easy, everybody would do it. So just realize it's gonna suck, but just think about this. Every time it sucks, realize there is someone across the world that would give their right arm to be where you're at right now, being in that sucky position, and know that it's gonna get better. And when it does get better, the glory that you're going to experience because you've went through that is going to be amazing. So just never give up. I mean, I know it sounds cheesy, but you just can't.
Yeah, and coming back to your opening statement, just don't give up, but don't go after the shiny objects. You know, whatever you're in now, just keep going at it. So we just want to thank you for your time. I mean, that was really cool in terms of just giving people an overview of what can be achieved in terms of courses and high tickets. So awesome, thank you, Funnel Doc, for your time. We really appreciate it.
No worries, man. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
So, yeah. Thanks for everyone for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.